Hi, this is Maria. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on part 3 of the series of Merriest Memories we've been working on. It's a stamp set by Stampin'Up, and I'll give you all the details here in a minute. Let's get started. Okay, so this is the Merriest Moments Stamp Set we've been working with. You have the option to buy the Stampin' Cut and Emboss hybrid folder that comes with dies. So these come together, this comes separate. So we've already showed the stamp set, we've already showed the embossing folder last week. That was beautiful. And today we're going to focus on the dies. So the dies, you get a lot of dies, and we're going to actually do 2 versions of this. We're going and see which one we like better. We're going to see what this die does, and we're going to see what this large die does as well. You can find all of this stuff in the Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog, July to December of 22. If you go to page 23, this is what we're looking at, Merriest Frames Hybrid Embossing Folder. It comes with the embossing folder and the dies. This is the stamp set we've been working with as well. This was part 1, this was part 2, and now we're doing part 3 also with this. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can find all my supplies and all my instructions right here at mariascraftroom.com. That is my blog, and you'll find lots of details and how to shop with me there. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to first make sure I have all my paper cut. I have an envelope. I have a card base. Basic white, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have Mossy Meadow already cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have 2 sheets of shimmer white just because we're going to do 2 different looks. Also 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, same size, and a piece of scrap of that shimmer card as well. We're going to put our sentiment on this one. Alright, so everything's cut. Let's I'm going to move to the other side of the room to my die cut machine, and we're going to get our pieces cut and embossed. We're going to use the embossing folder, and we're also going to use 3 frames. This one, this little one, that's our scrap, and this one as well. So I'm going to need to emboss both of these white ones. Let's center the card here. And that looks pretty good. Let's move a little closer here. There we go. Can we see that? I'm just trying to line up the paper so I get all these little leaves. And I'm going to do this twice. Let's go to the other side of the desk here. Alright, so I'm using a Gemini because I don't have a Stampin' Up! Die cut machine. I'll buy one eventually, but I'm just starting out, so I'm using what I have. So that was the embossing folder. I cut 2 of these out. They're not cut, they're embossed, because we're going to see what these frames do. So we're going to cut one with this, and we're going to cut one with this, and see what the difference is. My fitting plate, my card. The instructions are pretty standard with every machine, so I'm going to put a shim and another clear plate, and let's see what this one does. This one, so this was the large die, and it cut most of it out. Okay, you still have some connecting pieces in here. Now let's see what the other one does. Same thing, I've got it actually, because the embossing is raised a little bit, the die is actually fitting right over. I don't need to take this at all because it's fitting very well. right over the embossing. Putting my shim in my Epic Clear. And again, the instructions are pretty much the same for most embossing machines. Alright, so this one, oh, that one left bits behind. Let's see what this is going to do. This was a more intricate die. Oh wow, look at that. I think I like this one better. And the little bits and pieces. Just be careful so that you don't damage your leaves trying to get this out. There's one little piece that didn't quite cut. I should have run it twice, but that's okay. We will make it work. Okay, I've got all the little bits and pieces out. There's one right there. Oops. Make sure you pop out all the bits. And look at that. So all the embossing shows, but you've got all the intricate details cut out. This we're going to do with blending brushes for sure. Okay, so let me get cleaned up here a little bit. All right, oh, I forgot one. One more. I need to cut out my sentiment. Okay, and there's my sentiment with a little stitch die. Okay, and that will go in the center. So we've got this, and we've got this to play with as well. You see, oh, look at that embossing. That is so pretty. I didn't line up the die very well. This one I lined it up really well. Very nice. Just cut it out of regular card. Okay, so now we've got one for that one for that one. My die cuts are ready to go. Let's get a piece of scratch paper, and we will use blending brushes. These are blending brushes. They're very soft, very fluffy, and you can use them to just swirl on your color. So let's do that. We're going to use the same colors we did on the other card, Series 2. I'll post a link to that. This is Old Olive. I'm going to tap in here, and we're going to swirl, just rub on some color right over the embossed leaves. Okay, now you see this doesn't give you an exact shading. You do get some what I'm calling overspray. The water pens did a cleaner job of this, but this does go faster. Maybe we should do them side by side since we've got the same colors out. All right, let's do these. Be careful not to break your bits and pieces. I suppose we could have colored before cutting them out. Well, that's beautiful. You don't have any of that overspray because there's nothing behind it. That was all for green, Old Olive. Let's try Garden Green. It's coming clean. You see how dirty it is, but it's coming pretty clean. So it doesn't matter, these stain after you use them, but I just try to use like greens on one and reds on another, just for that, so you don't get too much cross-contamination. I'm just doing the same leaves and the same color green. Find a piece of scratch. Okay. shaded spruce. And if you don't mind that softer look, then this is just fine. Alright, that's it for garden green. No, I'm sorry, this was shaded spruce. Soft suede. Cherry cobbler. Okay, so since we're using Mossy Meadow, let's do the sentiment in Mossy Meadow. So I have two sentiments rectangles to use. Let's grab a block. And let's see, we've done this one. Let's do a joyful Christmas, just so we use them all. Okay, and you can use a grid paper, or in my case, I'm using my mat here. So I'm nice and square. I just line up my block on the grid, and then I can line up my sentiment along the lines of the grid. Alright, so I'm going to tap into Mossy Meadow and then center my block. Beautiful. Let's get the next one. Let's do a little red as well. Little cherries. Oh, and let's not forget to decorate the envelope. What do we want to do? Let's do these. So there's another one. There's two of these. Position them on your square the way you want. Soft suede. Okay, so the envelope is done. Let's build this card together. Alright, so here is my, I guess I'm going to have to pick one. Here's my Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to have to pick one of these. Which one do we like better? This was the outline, and I get a little too much mess in here in the bits and pieces that didn't cut out. I should have used a water pen, and that would have given me a nicer, cleaner look. So that was that one. The more detailed die gave a much cleaner finish and cut out all the little bits and pieces. So I'm going to use this one. So we're going to put this one down. Let's grab some liquid glue, because I want to be able to move it around if I need to. I'm going to dot out here in the leaves. But you do want to get out here in the little bits, or else they won't stick. Okay, so let's get this down. We get to decide which is up and which is down. We're going to go this way. Make sure there's no glue on your hands, and set that down. And so I'm pretty sure I know where it's where I want it to be. I'm going to flip her over and give her a nice press. Make sure all those little bits get glued down. That is so pretty. That is just so pretty. Okay. Now, do we like the regular card, or do we like the shimmer card? We'll go with the shimmer, and I'll cover my little mistake there. Let's get some dimensionals. These are mini dimensionals. Finally ran out of the big ones. They both work just as well, but the little ones fit better into smaller spaces. We'll put this one down. Can we see? Yes, we can. Very pretty. We're going to put some gems. These are pearl basics to cover up any little imperfections, because things happen in crafting, and we're just going to work with it. So let's get one of these big pearls to cover that mistake there. And we'll get progressively smaller. This one does have big, medium, and little dots. Okay. Now we can lay this all on our card base, and we'll glue this down. I do like to dot, but swirling is faster. I'm just gonna go corner to corner here with my forgiving liquid glue. Give that a good press. So there's our finished card. Very nice. Using dies from the set. This is last week using just the embossing folder and a couple of stamps. So here we use stamps, dies, and embossing folder. Here we use stamps and the embossing folder for week 2 of our series. And here we used just the stamps for week 1 of our series. I forgot to make an envelope for that one. This is our Merriest Moments with matching dies and the embossing folder. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like my videos, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching.